you've been following me on Twitter for the past week or so, at CPUKid, by the way, go ahead and go down in the description. You can find a link right there. You'll know that for my Hackintosh, I bought a new graphics card. Currently, I have an NVIDIA 9800 GTX Plus, and it works absolutely great. I have both monitors, I can edit. However, once I do both those at the same time, so if I have, say, Safari open and I'm trying to edit the video in Final Cut and I have both monitors, then things can get kind of laggy. And so to fix this, I decided that I would upgrade my graphics card because the lag is not from my CPU. I have an Intel Core i7, 3.6 gigahertz, and I have 12 gigs of RAM. So obviously the biggest drawback would be a 512 megabyte graphics card. So that's why I decided to get this guy. It's a Gigabyte HD. It's an ATI/AMD Radeon 6850. There you go. So as you can see here, 1 gigabyte of GDDR5. My other card, the card I have now, is a 512 megabyte of GDDR2. So this is quite the upgrade. Not only is the memory doubled, but it's also over twice as fast. So on the back you can see the wind force cooling. It has heat pipes, heat sinks, and 2 big fans on it. So that's going to be very nice. So I'm just going to go ahead and unbox this for you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So we'll go ahead and we'll open up this side of the box here. And we're greeted with another black box. Okay, so now this is now gone. And we have an opening here. So we'll go ahead and we will open this. And here we are, greeted with what looks like to be the manual and a CD. I will not be needing this, obviously, because I have a Hackintosh and whatever. I don't need drivers. So here's the card itself, minus my box falling. So I'll go ahead and take it out of the wrap. And here's the card. So as you can see, there's the 2 very big fans. I believe they're like 80 millimeter, maybe 70. As we rotate it this way, you can see those heat pipes. Those are great for cooling. When the heat sink down below gets hot, it passes the heat to these, and the fans just blow it all out. I mean, it's a very nice cooling system. Here you can see we have a DVI-I, and DVI-D. We have an HDMI. We also have a display port, which I'm also new to. I've heard with this card with a Hackintosh there have been issues of getting both HDMI to work with graphics enabler is set to yes. So I might end up just using this display port to DVI adapter. So we'll rotate the card this way. There's nothing too much, but you can see that massive heatsink below there. Very cool. And on the front here, you can see that it does require 1 power. And I've also noticed that with the NVIDIA cards, most of the cards of this 1 gigabyte DDR5, most of them require 2 power draws. This one requires 1. So that's very nice. I have a 650 watt power supply, so this should work very nice with just that power supply. I shouldn't need to go overkill. Here's the wire for the cooling, and honestly that's pretty much all I can show you guys. I mean, it's a very nice piece of hardware. The fans look very high quality. It seems like a very well built card. Also in the box we have some very nice styrofoam, which I will definitely be saving and loving. I'm kidding, not really. In the box we also have the standard power to just here. You can just plug these right in from your motherboard. If your power supply doesn't have this sort of connector, mine already does, so I won't need this, but these are nice to have for older machines and everything, so that's very cool to have. Little power adapter. And they've also given me an HDMI cable. That's very cool. I was not expecting that. I thought they might give me like a DVI, but I do have an HDMI cable here. So Gigabyte's very generous for giving me that. And they also gave me a VGA to DVI adapter. So Gigabyte gives you many accessories here. That's very cool, especially the HDMI cable. That's a very nice deal right there. So that's pretty much it for the unboxing of my Gigabyte AMD Radeon HD 6850. That's a very long name, I know. But there you go. That was pretty much the unboxing. I will be doing an installation video, and I will be reporting to you guys, on Twitter and everything about how the card is doing. This is actually the next day. I'm just finishing up this video now. This is my outro, and I have gotten it working in Lion, but right now graphics enabler is set to no, and so I do have access to the full Gigabyte. The card is very fast. Editing is a lot nicer with it. However, it's just not at its full potential yet, so there does need to be something figured out where I can get graphics enabler set to yes, but I'll get more into that later. Apple should be supporting these sometime in the near future, so we'll just have to see about that. But for now, this still definitely beats my old graphics card. So I guess that was pretty much the unboxing. So if you have any more questions, I'm at CPU Kid on Twitter, like mentioned at the beginning of this video. Stay tuned to more details about this card. Like I said, I'll be doing an installation video and everything like that. Give you guys like an inside look at my system and me just putting the card in. So before I ramble anymore, thanks for watching.